All right, so quick little video update, whatever, before I get started. So I still need to drill out the holes across the fender here, plus the 3 down there. But the other day, I wasn't really feeling good yesterday, so I came out for about 20 minutes to try to get these Torx bolt out so I can get the bumper off and get the winch plate off. So I know the uppers have been off at some point because the winch plate's here, that's not factory, plus the winch is there, so everything was good. So first thing happened was I twisted this T55. I don't know if you can see how twisted that is. So I twisted that one pretty good, and if you look inside there, you can see there's a head of a T55. So I bought 2 of these. Here's the part number and shit off of them. I bought 2 of these off of Amazon, and the first one I had put some penetrating oil in there, let it sit for a couple days, smacked the edges with a hammer. I even took this chisel and grabbed it tried to move it just a little bit, try to loosen it up, and just by applying a little bit of torque, this tool snapped. These were just under 10 bucks a piece, so luckily there's free returns, so I've got to dig that out of there. So I went over to the hardware store and picked up a propane tank, and we're going to heat them up. That's the torch head. We're going to heat this one up and see if I can get it off, because I don't know what else to do. The next course of action would be to try to grind that down quite a bit and maybe weld a nut onto what's left that I can get a good bite on. So, but yeah, so I'm just gonna mess with this for a few minutes and see if I can get that off, or the ones on the bottom off maybe, and then we'll come back to that one later. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and heat this one up and see what we get. All right, so I put a little heat on that for about 5 minutes or so with the propane, and I got it to turn. So now I can't find my 1/2-inch ratchet, so I need to go hunt that down real quick. I thought it was in this mess over here, but I don't see it. Nope, don't see it. It must be in the garage. All right, let me go grab it, and hopefully I can get that one out. And while I'm in the garage, I'll get my pick and see if I can get that piece out of there. Well, I came out here and didn't even think about putting the video on it. Well, I wasn't sure this was going to work. I was going to pick it out, but it didn't come out. But I have some of these really tiny magnets that are really strong, and it pulled the chunk right out of it. And you can see how much I broke off. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to have to do is heat this one up, so we can get that out of there. So I got my 1/2-inch drive. I'm going to go ahead and put the star on, finish getting that out of there, and we'll see how things go. All right, so this lower one here on the driver's side, I got the bolt out. That's it there. It's still hot as hell. But this lower one, I didn't have to do anything but break it free. I guess maybe some of the tension's off, so hopefully that's I was like, why am I feeling hot? Because that's resting on my leg after taking the bolt out. All right, so I'm gonna finish unscrewing that one. Then I'll get over there on the other side, and hopefully I don't damage the light. Yeah, well, it shouldn't, because the bumper shouldn't fall, but all right, let's get this out of here. I guess my joy might be short-lived. I've been turning on that for a few seconds, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I'm gonna try to get something in there. I don't know. I thought these would be threaded. It doesn't seem to be wanting to back out. And there's no way to get to what's on the inside because it's boxed frame right there. So the option would be to cut a hole right here if I needed to see what's in there, but I really don't want to be trying to cut through that. All right, so we're going to continue trying to get that out for a second, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I got the other one out. They're both laying right there. I'm going to replace those with grade 8 hardware anyway. I don't know if the new bumper came with new hardware, but I'm definitely not going to be reusing those. Now, the winch and the winch plate are off, but it's hot at both ends, so I'm not even going to bother trying to pick it up. But it seems like these two bottom ones might just be spinning. It's hard to tell. They don't seem to be moving much. I'm going to get my impact gun and see if I can maybe wedge something between the nut, the bolt head, and the bumper to make it tight so I can spin it off with the impact gun. We'll see if that works. If not, once this plate cools off, then I will see about moving the winch out of the way and seeing what it will take to get the bumper off. Okay, so two uppers are out. The bottom one here is out. That's the one behind the license plate. And now all I gotta do is figure out how to get to this one here, figure out how to make it come out. I'm not sure what the hell's going on, so I'm gonna pick this winch plate up. Seems cold enough for me to do that. So we're gonna pick that up and set it out of the way for a second, and then we will hopefully get this last bolt out of here somehow. All right, so I picked up the winch plate. A little heavier than I thought it was. So now that I got the passenger side bumper pulled away, I can see inside the frame here, and there is a nut there. Now, I don't know if I will have enough room. Maybe if I pull on this while giving it some tension, but it feels like I can't really. No, it feels like that's in there pretty good. So let's see what happens if I put a little heat. Well, if it will spin, or if it's broke off and I'm gonna have to figure out how to get a good bite on it without tearing up this bumper. It's a nice piece of steel. Hopefully I could reuse it somewhere. If not, we'll cut it up so we can fix it. Alright, so I've got all three out except for this bottom one, and it clearly is spinning. I applied heat, I applied lubricant, I applied air gun, tried to use a little force, nothing. So I'm going to get a pair of vice grips and a breaker bar. Maybe I can get in there with the breaker bar and hold the nut so that I can get it good enough. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room to work, so I mean, worst case scenario, I could cut the head off. I mean, it's already broke free on the inside, so then everything will come out. So that'll be the last effort, will be to get a cutoff wheel and take the head off and then do that. But we'll see if we can get it out first. Alright, so my long pry bar didn't have enough angle. I got a Wonder Bar stuck in there. And if I lean on the bumper, I can push it so that it should hold tight. So the question is, can I lean on the bumper while using the impact gun to spin the bolt out? We'll find out. Well, applying pressure from the backside didn't work. So I'm going to go ahead and try to cut it off with the cutoff wheel. Well, I'm going to get a new disc for it. Oh, damn, I got hiccups. And shit. What did I do with the wrench and the Allen? Okay, let me find the tool so I can swap blades. Alright, so I have tried grinding or using the cutoff wheel to cut the head off. That's taken forever. I have tried moving the bumper out of the way so that I could get behind it and kind of jam the nut part in there, but the bumper doesn't give me enough access to turn, and none of my tools are getting a very good bite, so that's not working. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is, I don't know, I'm either going to cut a slot around the bolt and just bend the bumper so it breaks off, That might be the easiest, and then I can get to the nut on the inside. I'm looking for a couple of tools that might be able to make the angle. I then used a pair of channel locks, but they don't turn enough with the bumper pulled away to clear the frame and the bumper and get on the nut. So that hasn't worked very well. So yeah, I don't know. This is kind of challenging on this one. Kind of sucks. So yeah, 1 step forward, 13 back. All right, let me work on this some more. All right, well, I haven't been able to get anything to hold the nut, so I'm just chopping the head off of the damn thing. So it's gonna take a second, but at least I got 1/4 off. If I can get a little bit more off, I think I can drive it upwards. We'll see. Okay, so I got a little bit more of it off. It's just about out. So yeah, regretfully I don't have my torch. It's out of gas, so my actually acetylene torch. I just have that butane one, and that's not going to cut this head off. So we're just going to keep cutting at it until we get the damn thing out of there. Nothing like a 5-minute job to ruin your day. So it looks like I almost have the head completely off, so I might be able to get the bumper off. I was hoping to find my punch so I could drive that up inside there, but right now I'll just worry about getting the bumper off, and then I can get that rest of that crap out of the inside of the channel. Okay, there is the bumper. There is the hole. For whatever reason, this one was not welded. It had that kind of nut. That's what was inside the frame, so I'm not sure what the hell was going on. I don't see any damage. So what I'm going to do is, when I get the new hardware, I'm going to go ahead and weld a nut in here, and hopefully that solves that problem. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. So yep, took a little bit of finessing, but I got it out. So we'll throw that over there. All right, well, that took way longer than it should have. I've been out here since about 1 o'clock, I guess, and it took me about 2.5 hours. Once I got the other 3 heated up, they came right out, no problem. This one here turned into a challenge. Again, I don't know why these are welded in. Even that one is right here, the upper is. This one was not welded, so it's kind of weird. Don't know why it wasn't welded. Not sure if this plate is standard on all Jeeps right here. I don't remember seeing that on my CJs, but maybe it's a YJ thing. Not sure. It doesn't look like it's ever been welded. I don't see any weld marks in here. So yeah, we'll get in there and we'll clean that all up. We'll weld in the new nut, and that way when we put the new bumper on, it won't have all that. And since we got it off, I'll go ahead and pull the turn signals and the headlights out of there. Well, we may not pull the headlights. We might just tape them. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And then we'll clean this front end up and paint it along with the fender. But yeah, I'm going to clean up my tools. I might try to drill out the fender, or I might not. It just depends on how I feel once I clean up. Alright, well, I finished cleaning out my tools. I'm going to call that quits for the day. That was pretty tiring getting that out of there. So the 2 back bolts for the winch plate came out without an issue, but they were bolts and they're different. So I'm going to get grade 8 hardware to replace it. I'm going to weld in a new bolt or a nut for this side so that it's the same. I'll clean all of this up. I'm not painting the frame, just the body, so I'll clean this all up. I think I still have some black left. I might touch this up, I might not. I haven't drilled out the fender yet, but I'm pretty freaking tired right now. Last few days I've just been dragging. So we're going to call this good. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.